Here we are back on our Astor Street infill project. Today, the concrete masons just finished up the last pour of the job. As you can see on the front part of our project, they have poured the front garage wall, the front of the wine cellar, and the front stair foundation. These walls are 10 feet tall, 10 inches thick. As you can see, they've got galvanized anchor bolts. These anchor bolts are required to be in the wall every 6 feet. We put them in approximately 2 inches from the outside. Our treated mud sill plate gets bolted down to the foundation. That's what holds the wood framing to the concrete. These anchor bolts are embedded into the concrete approximately 10 inches. Let's talk a little bit about the concrete forms. As you can see, the metal concrete forms come out in 3-foot widths. They've also got a bunch of additional pieces at different smaller increments to make the correct wall length. They put these hook bars in at the top of the wall that accept a 2x6 member. That goes in there to straighten out the wall as the concrete's being poured. We don't want any waviness in our walls.
If you look carefully at our beam delivery operation, you'll notice that our large steel beam and a few other items were delivered on a separate steel beam truck. This truck has its own crane and will unload itself and put the beams in place. With how long our project is, these steel beams are actually being placed in the basement, and our rough carpenters will set them with a lift at a later date. The supersized steel beam on this project is very unique in the residential construction industry because of its overall length. We did not have the opportunity to put a steel post in the basement because of it being a large garage area, so the beam had to run from the side of the house to the other side, the full 25 feet. To pull this off, the beam needed to be sized up to 24 inches tall to support all the loads that would fall onto it. Much planning took place prior to get these deliveries scheduled so they wouldn't overlap and cause backup on our street. We've got our large steel beams being delivered, our forklift for moving material around, and our first load of rough lumber. The floor trusses for the floor system. These are 24 inches tall. That allows us to have a clear span of 25 feet, and they will be placed 16 inches on center. This will support the load, dead load and live load. If you look at the walls, they are being constructed with 2x6 studs, 16 inches on center. The 2x6 is for strength and also to allow a cavity deep enough for insulation. Yes, it's crane day. We are setting trusses. What just pulled by me was our 90-ton telescoping crane. Our vendor met me out here last week to verify the size that we were going to need to get these trusses up onto the roof and in location. We needed the 90-ton crane that could reach 140 feet. Let's take a look as the master sets these puppies in place. From a distance, the crane operator lifting these huge trusses into place looks like a well played out symphony. But keep in mind, this is a tense time for all the guys on site. This huge crane is whipping 25-foot long trusses in between houses that are only 30 feet apart. There's multiple trees that we've got to maneuver around, and not to mention this 90-ton crane had to get parked somehow into this driveway. I knew that I could call a vendor that I've worked with for over 20 years and we would get this job done safely, quickly and on the day that I needed it done. Now we're up to the roof framing system. These are engineered trusses that clear span, again, 25 feet with a flat roof system. These will be placed 24 inches on center, which is standard, and be decked with a 3/4 inch plywood, foam, and a rubber membrane at a later date to make sure the flat roof stays watertight. From my bird's eye view above our project, I am reminded at how many infill sites are available to us and how many possibilities are still out there in southeastern Wisconsin. The homeowners for this project have teamed up with Lemel Homes, and we were able to create an awesome vision and bring it to reality. Now that the sticks and nails have all taken shape, we will go inside, talk with our designer, learn a little bit more about the project, and see what's inside the infill.